Welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. I am super pumped for today's explainer because we are finally doing something incredibly satisfying. We've officially reached the Master Engineer's final inspection phase of our Capstone project. Now, if you hung out with us during the last explainer, you remember we put in all that hard work testing and validating our orchestration scripts, right? We built all the individual engine parts. But today, we actually get to assemble the scattered pieces into a fully functional multi-token platform. So let's just jump right in. Here is our final inspection clipboard for today. First, we'll look at the blueprint. Then we'll deploy your smart contract. After that, we'll jump into testing core operations, passing our security checks, and finally, packaging the deliverable. Section 1, the blueprint, or defining the acceptance criteria. Look, you wouldn't just start building a bridge without a solid blueprint, right? Well, the exact same goes for our assembly line. This is our chronological path to take us from scattered bits of code to a polished, working machine. Think of it like this. Hour 1 is all about prepping your environment. Getting dependencies installed and compiling contracts so everything is super fresh. Then, Hour 2, we pick our deployment target and push the code out there. Hour 3, that's the really fun part. We run our integration tests and actually watch the gears turn. And finally, Hour 4 is boxing the whole thing up into a nice coherent deliverable. Moving right along to Section 2, deploying your smart contract and firing up the testnet. Okay, stop right here. Notice this massive warning sign? Please, I am begging you, do not deploy to mainnet. Seriously, deploying an unverified Capstone project straight to Ethereum mainnet? That is literally the Web3 equivalent of testing in production while completely blindfolded. It's ridiculously expensive, it's totally irreversible, and honestly, it's just highly dangerous. We always use a controlled, ephemeral testnet environment for this stage. Trust me on this one. So, once you've successfully and safely deployed to that testnet, you generate this absolutely crucial file, the deployment manifest. Think of this as the foundational technical document for your build. It's basically the true birth certificate of your deployed contract. It's just a simple JSON file, but it definitively proves your smart contract actually exists on-chain. It logs the network name, the exact block number, your ABI file path, the deployer address, and of course, that all-important transaction hash. Because let's be real, without this manifest, your contract is basically just a rumor. All right, Section 3, testing core operations, verifying the machine. So with our machine built and deployed, we have to actually turn the key. The whole point here is running our integration scripts across 3 core operations to make sure the token lifecycle is perfectly healthy. Step 1 is minting. We literally just want to see the recipient's balance go up. Easy enough. Step 2 is the batch transfer. We use the safe batch transfer from function here to double check that the source balances decrease while the destination balances increase. Simple math, right? And then step 3, the burn. This is where we make sure the overall token supply or the individual holder's balance genuinely goes down when tokens are destroyed. Let me tell you, there is absolutely nothing quite like the satisfying victory of running these scripts and seeing that solid wall of green pass checkmarks light up your terminal. Which brings us to Section 4, passing security checks, basically quality control on the assembly line. Let's take a second to compare 2 very different engineering philosophies, assertion versus evidence. Mere assertions like, claiming your contract is totally secure just because you left a really nice, well-written comment in your code, yeah, that just doesn't cut it. We need hard evidence. We're talking about proving your security using actual, real transaction hashes and test logs. As master engineers, we don't just walk around saying a system is secure. We prove it using undeniable, immutable, on-chain data. No exceptions. Here's the specific quality control checklist we use on the clipboard. Let's look at exactly how we generate that unshakable evidence for an audit. For role assignments, we call the has-role function. This makes sure only the absolute right people have admin access. And boom, we record the transaction hash as proof. Next, for immutable metadata, we actively attempt a URI update. Our evidence here is actually a reverted transaction, which proves the system successfully blocked the unauthorized change. And finally, for pause functionality, we trigger the pause state and try to mint a token. Again, we want to see a reverted mint transaction. In the world of security testing, a blocked action is often the most beautiful, undeniable proof of success you can ask for. And we finally made it to Section 5, packaging the deliverable. Let's box it up. Okay, here is exactly what goes into that final polished box. Your official submission zip needs a few critical things. You need the deployment manifest, your security checklist, absolutely packed with that transaction evidence we just talked about, your ABI and bytecode files, the test logs, and, this is a big one, a reproducible demo script. A reviewer should be able to just run that script with minimal setup and instantly watch the magic happen. And what's really great is that these rigorous professional engineering principles apply across all the different courses and learning programs we offer over at Forge College. Handing over a clean, reviewer-friendly final package like this is truly the hallmark of a seasoned Web3 professional. But before we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a slightly provocative thought. Sure, you've successfully built the machine and your ERC1155 tokens exist securely on-chain, but does your token metadata have a permanent decentralized home? Think about it. Right now, it might just be sitting on a temporary centralized server somewhere, totally vulnerable. And that leads us perfectly into our next big challenge, IPFS storage. To continue mastering decentralized identity and to dive into exactly how we solve that metadata storage puzzle, head on over to forge.college. Keep building, keep verifying, and I will catch you in the next explainer.